So you've got a couple of war wounds in that. But when you went to
Yeah.
these places, did you specifically go for fighting? And were you ever scared going into these places for fights?
I think what happens is, ever since I was young, I mean, when I first got involved with the skinheads,
Mm-hmm.
you're obviously scared, and you've got this knot in your stomach, it hurts,
Yeah.
but that disappears as time goes on. And I
Mm-hmm.
often say your conscience gets blunted,
Right.
so your conscience, which might make them knots in your stomach, it becomes blunt. So to me, I went to these football matches, and it was second nature. That
Right.
like going to Arsenal, going to London, and in a dark on a night, and you're trying to find the firm. There's just a few of you, and
Mm-hmm.
there's Arsenal fans everywhere. You know what I mean? So there's no fear, but you're very wary.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose as you get older, the fear disappears. You
And
know,
was there a lot of drinking went on at these sessions as well?
no, when you went to football matches, there was no drinking really. Not we didn't drink. We took speed.
Right.
To go to a football match and do what we did, you've got to be really like sober. Do you know what I mean?
I
But
see. Okay.
we went to London to a match. We went to Millwall or West Ham. We would go on the Friday night. Well, it'd be early hours of Saturday. We'd be in a nightclub on the Friday, and
Mm-hmm.
we'd go down on minibuses and be in London by 6 o'clock in the morning, and we'd just be on the go all day and could be fighting
Yeah.
all day long, stealing, robbing, walking, jumping on tubes, and eventually getting to the game. But we never really went to watch the match ever. It was like you went for
For the fight.
trouble. And to be noticed, like I remember being in the away fans' ends, at their ground, I was in
Yeah.
their end, and nearly, how I didn't die that day, I don't know, but then you get took around the pitch, and they're throwing coins at you,
All
and
right.
the borough singing things, and you just think it's brilliant, but none of it's real, that's what I want
Mm-hmm.
to say. None of it's real. It's like counterfeit.
So in all of this violence and fighting, you ended up in prison at a young age, of course. What was prison like for you?
Well, the first prison, Middlesbrough, is a detention centre, and the government had been told to give these young people like me a quick, sharp shock.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a boot camp, an American style boot camp. So it was very tough,
Yeah.
very, very tough, very brutal. And then I went to Barstow, which was similar, but the thing is, the difference is when you went to Medemsley, the oldest was 17, and
Mm-hmm.
when you went to Diebold, the oldest was 21. So the guards weren't too easy to give you the
I
slap.
see.
You know what I mean? Where in the Medemsley the wood, but so, and then you went to a Cons jail, which was over 21s, and it was a total different thing.
Wow.
So, like I said earlier, like you kind of, I knew I'd go to jail one day. I just knew it. And when I went to prison, my friends were in prison, and you 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 start off being aware, being a bit wondering what's going to happen, to knowing what happens,
Mm-hmm.
and you get used to it. You have to just get used to being in jail, really.
Mm-hmm. Of course, in the middle of all this, of course, your nana died,
Yeah,
and you said you were devastated. Were you close to your nana?
yeah. Well, at that time, she was probably the closest thing. So she was the closest thing on the planet that I would ever care about. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I did care about her, but I didn't show it. This is what I was saying earlier, that
Yeah.
I didn't show that love thing. I didn't show that if I did love her, which I probably did, I didn't show that. But my love that I knew,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't show that. You know what I mean? I got
Yeah.
good talk that it wasn't about showing, but I did care about her a lot because she was always there. And I remember like Christmas Eves, she was there. No one else was, but she was. And
Yeah.
I remember spending many nights. People will tell you I love Tommy Cooper. And I'd spend many nights sat with her nana at Christmas, watching
Right.
telly with her nana drinking, and and going unconscious, and me just sitting there and being in her company. But yeah, so it was a big thing when she died for me.
Anyway, after that, of course, you told us you hit a bloke in a club, and it turned out to be an undercover policeman. Were you
Yeah,
shocked?
well, when the police came in on the night, because I was working on the Dorsey at the time, and when they came in and they arrested me, and I went to the police station. At first, I didn't really know why I was arrested, and then when they come and said, "Remember that this guy here?" and I was like, "Yeah." So he's, PC so and so, and I was like, "Oh, it could only happen to me." Do you know what I mean? And I used to say to people, trouble used to follow me, but it's a lie because I went where trouble was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hear the young people say it now.
So after that, of course, you said you left Middlesbrough for a while. Did you think that you'd start a new life by going to where was it you went? You left for
Well,
4 years, I think, was it?
yeah, that's why the undercover policeman. When I changed my life, I went to live in a
Mm-hmm.
different place. So I've been in jail for nearly
Mm-hmm.
2 years, from 1989 to 1990. So I went in January 1989, got out in September 1990, and went straight to Wakefield, where I was
Right.
there till I went to prison and got out in 1992. So it was a long time I've been away,
Yeah.
and 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 yet people hadn't noticed me gone.
I was going to say that because you said were you very disappointed when there was nobody waiting at the train station for you?
Yeah, I was, but again, I made excuses why they probably weren't there. But I just thought it was a bit odd why
Mm-hmm.
no one would meet me.
Yeah. So you went
Yeah,
back to Middlesbrough
yeah,
thinking it would be good for you, but it turned out not so good in that you went downhill really, in that you said you were almost at death's door from the
yeah,
drugs and everything. So
yeah.
Life Stories Worldwide is on YouTube, and it's very easy to subscribe to our channel. Just click the bell and subscribe and receive notifications of when we are live, or simply watch any of our other videos. So check it out and give us a visit. Were you on a self-destruct course or anything at that time?
I just remember that the night I found where I went and found this bench, and they were all sat
Mm-hmm.
there drinking, and the camaraderie and the laughs and the music,
Yeah.
and it just seemed like that this is what I'm going to do for my life now. And do you know what's funny? I often tell the young people this and the lads in prison, but living on the bench as a tramp was easier than trying to be someone I wasn't. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be smart, trying to be dressed right, trying to impress everyone, trying to find this where everyone likes me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on a bench, drinking all day as a tramp, I didn't have to care about anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It seems you didn't care about yourself. Do you not care about yourself either?
no, and you know what? I thought it was really good that I didn't have to have feelings.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know, you just had no feelings whatsoever.
So anyway, you were telling us that your mother was asked to could they turn the machine off?
Yeah,
Aren't you glad she went for a walk?
yeah, really glad. Yeah, really glad. It's interesting because my mother was very strong, a
Mm-hmm.
very strong woman, a very, very strong speaking woman as well. But my mother used a word that night, which was really strange. She said, when she seen me in the window, she told the consultant she had compassion on her son.
Wow.
Now, that word isn't a word my mum would use, but when I know that it was the Holy Spirit that got my mum to keep that machine on,
Mm-hmm.
you look in Matthew chapter 9, and Jesus says he had compassion
Yeah.
as he walked through everywhere, and he said the people were like sheep without a shepherd, helpless and harassed, and that word compassion could have only come from Jesus.
Yeah. Fantastic. So
Yeah,
the guys came in and when they prayed for you, and you sat
yeah.
up in the bed, you came alive, as you
I
said
came
yourself.
back, yeah, and then apparently I pulled the thing out my mouth and went back on my bed, but I was awake. but like they didn't just put oxygen on me. But then when the consultant came, he tested me and said he's out of coma. And it was the
So how
next
long?
day.
Sorry, I said you were in hospital for 7 weeks. Was it?
7 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. And how long after that did it take you to realize what had actually happened? There was, as you said, it was a miracle.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to realize that?
Well, it was after waking up out of the coma, it was 3 months till I gave my life to Jesus, And then I realised that night when I was on the streets of Middlesbrough, telling people about Jesus, that it was a miracle, And basically everyone was telling me that it's a miracle, Graham. We thought you were dead, and what's happened to you? Look at you. You're smart, you're glowing, you know what's happened, and it was just amazing.
And how did you feel? Did you inside?
I just felt clean, really clean. But there was something that my wife Natasha calls it God hole, and whatever it was full. I didn't have a desire for. I mean, it's a miracle that when I woke up out of the coma, I didn't have a desire to drink, take drugs, or smoke. But now I didn't have a desire for anything other than to follow Jesus,
Yeah. So when you look back at your past now, do you look back with regret, or do you look back as if to say, "Well, I'm forgiven"?
Well, I am forgiven. Yeah, really forgiven. I'll tell you what I used to do. I used to, for the first 5 years, I used to think, I wish I could go back to when I was this or that age. After about 5 years, I started realising if I hadn't have gone through that, I wouldn't have my wife, I wouldn't have my poison, I wouldn't be able to do what I do now. Do you know?
Yeah.
And I love sharing the love of Christ, share my story, preaching, bringing the message, the scriptures. I love it. I'll go all over. I'm going to London this weekend, and I go everywhere. I'm going to Aberdeen and Edinburgh and Motherwell and all that in October, into the prisons and to a church. And I just love to serve Jesus, And if I hadn't have had what I didn't go through, what I went through, then I wouldn't have what I have now.
Excellent. So you said to start a course in 1960, you went to an Alpha course. How was that? What was that like?
It was a bit weird when I first got there. I thought, what on earth am I doing here?
What was weird about it for you? Tell us about it.
Well, when I walked in, there was a load of funny people there. That weren't like my people,
Funny people, yeah.
I actually thought they were all Christians, to be fair. I
Right.
thought all they know Jesus, but they didn't.
Right.
So I remember sitting next to this lad. He had long hair and a brown jacket. And I remember thinking to myself, because I couldn't stop swearing, and I remember thinking to myself, what on earth am I doing in here? And I was sat with this man who was like long hair and a brown jacket, and a true story. And we ate our food, and at that point I was about 14 stone. I went into the coma 11.5 stone, and I could eat what I wanted. And I remember looking over, and this man, I was thinking, I can't ask. I don't know anyone. I'm not going to ask for seconds. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. And this lad sat next to me, went, "Hey, Bob," a man called Bob Hodgson, "can I have some seconds?" And I thought, I love this lad. This lad's my new mate. I said, "Oh, can I have some as well?" So I made the decision. I was going to sit with him, Dave Benjamin, every week. Yeah, but it was a strange feeling. But like I say, when they did the talk about why did Jesus die, I was blown away. Yeah, blown away.
I must admit, I was really touched when you mentioned a bit about Jesus on the cross, and you kept saying, "Well, why did he not come down? Why did he not come down?"
Yeah,
that was really touching. Is that what touched you?
Yeah, that's what touched me. Yeah, massively. When I thought about this man, because even as a kid, my nana used to sing about Jesus, and I'd watch like sometimes a film with my nana about Jesus, Jesus of Nazareth, and it was Robert Powell.
Yeah, I remember it.
Even I'd think to myself, why don't they just give him a good hiding? Why don't they just give him good kicking, that's what I used to think. And I didn't realise until, obviously, because no one had really told me,
Mm-hmm.
And you would never believe it. Obviously, you would believe it. Millions of people don't really know
Mm-hmm.
why Jesus died, and why he
Yeah.
didn't kick the heads in. I mean, I read and I found out that when Jesus was on the cross, as you know, there were 72,000 angels with the swords ready to come and destroy everyone.
Lifestories Worldwide is broadcast live every Monday night at 8 p.m. UK time. We broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, and StreamYard. Why not join us every Monday night at 8 p.m. UK time for Lifestories Worldwide.
At his call, he only had to say, "Oh, come get me," and yet he
Who
didn't.
counted them, Graham? Who counted the 72,000?
Well, it's just a figure. But he loved us, He loved us.
Yeah, he did.
He loved us that much that he just hung there.
So now you said, of course. Sorry.
It blew me away because in my life he didn't do that. That didn't happen.
So it took a long time for you to come to. But do you think the fact that your nana, told you about Jesus, do you think she was sowing seeds in your life at the time?
Yeah, I do, and I think she prayed a lot for me,
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was a lot of people praying for Graham, and I think and know that when you start talking to people when they get to know Jesus, they tell you that someone's been praying for them,
Yeah. So anyway, you went on. You said you met your wife Natasha.
Natasha, in London.
Was that a joyous occasion?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, really like the icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
I've been praying for God with skin on, and I met Natasha down in London. She went to the church where I went to with this Bible college.
Yeah. So you started up your own ministry called Sowing Seeds Ministry. Tell us a bit about that, and how can anybody contribute? Anybody contribute if they wanted to?
Yeah. Well, we always need help, really, because we're a faith ministry. We don't take funds of anyone else because obviously we want to share the love of Christ, and we don't want to be hindered. But Sowing Seeds Ministries was birthed in June 2006, and it comes from the Matthew chapter 13, the parable of the sower, and in Matthew 13 verse 11, it says the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, and I believe that's what happened to Graham, and what we do is we look for people who are interested. And once they start asking the questions, we can then share with them. So we have a centre where Natasha runs, and we have people who've had mental health and been abused go there. And we have all kinds of things happening where we can just reach out to people. And there's a gym there where the kids come in, where my friend Chris runs. But Sowing Seeds Ministries, I mean, you can email us. It's tash, TASH, at sowingseeds.org.uk.
Excellent.
And so it's.
Is there a website as well? Is there a website as well?
Go to the website, Sowing Seeds Ministries. Everyone Matters, it's called.
Okay.
So that's there. But if you live local and you want to give us a hand, you can volunteer.
I'm not too far away from you, actually, Graham. Yeah. You're down in Darlington now, aren't you?
We're in Darlington now, but
quite a nice little place, Darlington.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I don't see a lot of it because I'm in Sunderland every day, and then Middlesbrough and Stockton. So,
well, next time you're in Sunderland, you can pop in for a cup of coffee in my house, okay?
Where's that in Sunderland?
No, I'm in Washington.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm anywhere every day, Monday to Friday.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
okay.
Every day, Monday to Friday.
Brilliant. Anyway, Graham, it's been fantastic speaking to you, and thanks for speaking to Lifestories Worldwide. Now, you've made a lot of decisions in your life, okay?
Yeah.
And some of them bad, some of them good. But for you, what was the best decision you ever made?
the best decision I ever made was on November the 9th, 1996 at 3:15, because that was the beginning of putting everything together, and that was the day I asked Jesus to come into my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because 100%, when I did that, there's a scripture in Matthew 6:33, Jeremiah 29 verse 13, and basically in a nutshell together that says, when you seek me with all your heart first, you will find me, and everything you've ever been looking for will be added onto your life. And I'm living testimony of that, because I always wanted a family, always. When I asked Jesus into my life, he gave me a family, my own family, and great friends, true friends who love you and help you and support you, you know.
Well, Graham, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've been so honest and so humble, actually, and not rejoicing on what happened in the past and what goes on in the future. And with that, I'm going to bring Alan back in.
Thank you, George. Thank you so much, Graham. Wow, what an amazing story. I'm sure that's going to impact the lives of many, many people. And I pray God will continue to bless you and use you in schools. These young people in schools need to hear your story to stop them getting involved in things like you were involved in. It's been wonderful hearing you tonight, and I pray God will really bless you and your family. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So today, I thank you for all joining us, all those who joined us today to hear this story. You can hear these stories over and over again. If you go to our YouTube channel, Lifestories Worldwide, you can hear Graham's story over again and many other stories. You can also listen to them on Lifestories Worldwide Radio. If you go to Spotify, you can listen to those stories while you're walking or driving your car. I would also encourage you to go to our website. You'll find lots of information there. You find a Bible app that you can download to help you. You can find How Can I Get to Know God? And I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lifestories Worldwide. I'd also like to invite you to come to our convention, Lifestories Convention, in Newport, South Wales, on the 28th of October this year. You can find details of that on our website. And also you could become a partner of Lifestories Worldwide. Again, you'll find information on our website. I'd like to invite you to join us again next Monday at 8 o'clock UK time for another live story. This time we have a story of Daniel Habti. Daniel was born in Asmara, the capital of Eritrea. He became an orphan at 4 months old. He lost 4 members of his family, including his mother. And then he had a perilous journey from Eritrea, coming through the Sahara Desert to the Mediterranean Sea to the UK. He's a singer and a songwriter and a minister, but he has also been used to give impact speeches to very important people. He has spoken at the Houses of Parliament, the European Parliament, and he's also been on BBC Breakfast Programme, BBC Songs of Praise, and BBC Radio 4. He wants to encourage leaders. And so next week, join us at 8 o'clock to hear the story of Daniel Abdi. Tell your friends also to subscribe and to watch. So thank you for being with us. Thank you again, Graham. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Howard. May God bless you all. May you know the peace of God which passes all human understanding, and may the joy of Jesus fill your heart and lives. Bye, everyone.
If you would like to speak to us here at Lifestories Worldwide Radio, you can, simply by dialing +44 7943 550287. Call us now